Hello everybody and welcome back to the 101 with M and Ollie YouTube channel, where we will be going over the game week 7 Premier League match week. M, what did you think of this week?
I'm obviously upset, but you know, it's my job, so we got 11 matches for you today.
Yeah. So exciting game week with tons of controversy to go over. So let's just start off with, the first game of the weekend, which was a crazy result for Villa Brighton. I don't think anyone saw this coming. It was 6-1 to Villa. Crazy game.
Yeah, 6 goals, 6 for Douglas Luiz, 6 on the back of his shirt. I don't know what to say because I woke up early that day, and when I checked the scores, it was already 3-0 and it wasn't even half time yet. I don't think anyone predicted 6-1.
No.
Most people actually thought Brighton was going to nick one away, but Villa showed us how good they truly can be and how good they actually are already. Yeah, we all think that they are both really, really quality sides, and with a good season, either Villa or Brighton can both sneak into the Champions League with really good form. And today, not today, but that match showed that, the gap between these two, that would have made no sense if I said the gap between these two aren't that big. What I'm trying to say is that game could have gone absolutely either way, and it is a clear Villa day at Villa Park.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was Aston Villa pretty much from minute one. Watkins with a hat-trick and 2 assists. He's surely got to be getting into the England team come the next international break over Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's probably the best backup we've got for Kane. But for Brighton's side, we kind of see this every now and then. Remember last season, Everton beat them 5-0?
Aston Villa? Or
no,
Brighton?
For Brighton.
Really?
Last season when Everton...
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Everton being beaten 5-0 or 5-1 or something like that. We saw them just lose 6-1. They've got a weird result in them, but they always, no matter what the scoreline is, they were down 6-1 obviously. They still just tried to continue to play their style of football, and as you can see, it can hurt them at times. So overall, a really, really impressive result for Aston Villa. Like you said, a result no one really saw coming, including me, because I thought Brighton would win. But yeah, really good 3 points.
Okay, let's move on then to Arsenal. I'd say smacking Bournemouth, but what I want to discuss for that game is, why did Saka, in your opinion, gave up his penalty duties to Odegaard and Havertz?
I'm not too sure about why he gave it to Odegaard. We saw earlier in the season, Odegaard did take a penalty, but Saka also takes him down every now and then because we thought he was, from last season and whatnot, he was their nailed taker. And I think the Kai Havertz one was simply so he could just gain his confidence. They treated him like Vic Star in the Sidemen charity match, but that was simply just for Kai Havertz to try and get some type of confidence. But imagine if he missed it.
Agent 0050.
Then it would be over, bro.
Agent 0050 would have been guaranteed.
Yeah.
They did. I asked them, right? I was like, I don't rate Arsenal this year so far. They sort of answered. Yeah. Even Ben Scheich scored. So, 4-0, convincing result. I don't have much else to say about Arsenal that game.
Yeah, I think it was the first time we both think they actually played well. They got a good result. But let's move on to, a pretty historic game, actually. It's Everton at home to Luton Town. And Luton Town got their first ever Premier League victory coming away from home, actually. And when Everton, at a time were looking like they were on the up, but Luton deserved that win. They deserved 3 points, and pretty impressive.
Yeah, they went hand to hand, with Everton, which has been a Premier League side for God knows how long, forever. Actually. I don't think they've ever been relegated.
No.
So massive respect to Luton, and see how happy the lad is. See how happy I am. That's a sneak peek at the result for the prediction games, which we'll go over in our next video. But I'm really happy for Luton. It could have gone better when they played Burnley, but we'll also cover that game in a minute. But for now, good for them. First ever win in the Premier League.
Okay, so let's move on then to another really poor game from the red side of Manchester. Man United losing at home 1-0 to Palace. As a United fan, M, what do you think the issue is? What's going on?
A lot. You can go from the top down and from the board to the players to even some of the decisions that the manager made. There's a lot of issue in that club right now, and I'm sick and tired of saying we're in crisis because, looks like we've been in crisis for the last 10 years since Alex Ferguson left. We said last week about rotation. You have to rotate against this Crystal Palace side because, they will approach it differently. And they didn't really even create it much. Joaquin Anderson's goal was, it's a one-hit wonder. I don't think he'll ever be able to do that again his entire career. Yeah, he scored this year before Man United, but conceding a set piece. And speaking of set pieces, we have been absolutely tragic at set pieces this year, and it's the same set piece coach that was hired under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Actually, haven't changed. Same thing from the top down. Same director of football. Same owners. And I'm gonna say this quickly about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's trying to buy a minority in the Man United share. So he is pretty much pumping money in to keep the Glazers afloat, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous. He is, a fan of the club, and he can't see what he's doing. It's a bit of a vanity project for him to own partially Man United, and he doesn't know the consequences. The lad's already 80 years of age. He's just an old guy with money. I do not support that whatsoever. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Obviously, it's a very depressing week, and it just got worse today because we lost to Galatasaray. Speechless. That's about it.
Yeah. No, I kind of feel what you're going through when I was a Spurs fan last year with Conte. I mean, it's different because you guys have had tons of success, so it's weird, not being that successful club as you always are, whereas obviously Tottenham haven't had the same amount of success as United. But overall, I mean, Palace did what they needed to do. They got their goal, and they defended. They really didn't give up that many chances to United that whole game. I think you guys had, 4 shots, was it?
We had 19 shots against
But 4 on target.
4 on target.
Yeah, so not much for Sam Johnston really to do. So, yeah, the bad times just continue to go on. That's 4 losses in your first 7 Prem matches of the season. That's completely unacceptable.
Not to mention 2 losses in the Champions League.
Yeah, 2 losses in the Champions League. So you've got, 4 wins in all competitions and 6 losses to start your first 10 games of the year. You've got 3 Prem wins and a Carabao Cup
win,
4 Prem losses and 2 Champions League losses. That's a really... I don't think anyone saw that, because there's a lot of, good hype around Man United going into the season, and it's just...
I don't even think Crystal Palace would be happy with that.
No. So...
The irony.
Yeah. Let's... All right, do you want to move us on then? Because I don't think you want to speak about this any longer.
Yeah, not really. Let's move on then to Newcastle. I think it's a routine victory for them.
Yeah.
2-0, took your foot off the pedal. Miguel Almiron, actually, he scored in 2 games now on the bounce.
Yeah, well,
he's back on his purple patch last year.
You think he's going to score performances? You think he's going to score 8 games in a row again or something?
No. I think it's a fluke. But who I really want to talk about that game, though, Kieran Trippier. Seems like he's got the groove again. He's one of the best right back in the Premier League, if not the best last season.
Yeah.
And he's showing sparks of that again ever since Newcastle brought him back to England.
Yeah. No, his assist was a bit lucky. It was a tackle that fell right into the spot of Almiron, but he's such a good captain. He's such a good, leader for that Newcastle back line that's now kept, I think, 3 clean sheets in a row in the Premier League. So, routine victory for Newcastle, like you said. They didn't really struggle. Burnley didn't really put them under pressure at any times, and it was just, a 3 points you'd expect them to take, but you never know. Crazy things could happen in the Prem, but they did their job, and they get 3 points and move up the table.
Yeah, you put it perfectly there.
Mm-hmm.
But for the next game, we have West Ham beating Sheffield, and now if the last game was routine, so is this one.
Yeah.
West Ham, 2-0. They scored 2 goals within the first 40 minutes, and so I just took their foot off the paddle with Thomas Souček actually scoring for them.
Yep.
That says a lot. And Jared Bowen, yet again.
Yeah, he's on fire.
He is on fire at the moment, and I should have brought him in FPL because I low-key thought about it, but I never did.
Yeah, funny.
I'm happy for West Ham, and I'm happy for David Moyes, the best mid-table manager of all time.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
a big freaking compliment. What do you think?
Yeah, Sheffield United yet again playing poorly. If they want any chance of staying up, they need to get rid of their manager and find someone new, because it's not late enough for them to make that change, but. yeah, really routine for West Ham. We both said 10th. They may finish even better than that, like 9th or 8th, considering how some other teams are performing. So, which is a really good step up considering they lost Rice and finished like below mid-table last season.
Yeah, they had a relegation scare last season.
Exactly. So, yeah, as much as I really dislike West Ham, I can't discredit what they're doing. So,
all right, then. Shock of the week.
The shock of the week. Yeah, I guarantee nobody saw this coming. It was Wolverhampton at home.
No one saw it coming?
You didn't see them beating City.
I told you it was a draw.
They didn't draw. They won.
I said it was one of those games where I feel like Man City are going to drop points.
Correct, but
Did they drop points?
You didn't think they were going to lose, though.
Oh no, I wouldn't go that far.
Exactly. I don't think anyone. You're correct in thinking they'd drop points, but yeah, Wolves beat Manchester City, the champions, at home 2-1. The Korean guy scoring the winner.
Guy, right here.
Hwang Hee-chan, Pep dissed him in the pre-match build-up, saying he didn't diss him, but he forgot his name. He just called him the Korean guy, and then he scores the winner. So
I'm really happy for Hwang Hee-chan. As I said earlier, last year I didn't think he was fitting in. Anyways, with Hwang Hee-chan, I'm really happy for him. I said last year that I didn't think he was fitting in England too well, but now clearly he's there. He's on form too this season, and he's just scored the winner against Manchester City. City, though, I think this is just a bit of a trip. They'll be back. They'll probably win the next 5 in a row, no doubt. It's what they always do. They drop points every now and then, because every team drop points every now and then. No one's perfect. Not much to say here. Again, it's City. There's never much to say with Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing you can look at is the fact that without Rodri and De Bruyne, they kind of look a bit lost, especially Rodri, Rodri is the glue to that team, and Haaland barely had any sniffs at goal. I didn't watch the game, but from what I can see online, a lot of City fans weren't happy with the performances the players put in, bar maybe Julian Alvarez for that wonderful free kick. But it'll be interesting to see how they play next week, because obviously they've got Arsenal without Rodri, because Calvin Phillips just can't do the same job Rodri can. So, yeah, it could be just a blip, but if they do lose Rodri to injury, and if De Bruyne doesn't come back in time, that's a huge loss.
That's a really big loss for them.
It can make the title race between whoever's competing a lot more intriguing. But yeah, do you have anything else to say on that game?
No,
anything
not really.
More?
That's about it. You spoke about a title race. Which teams do you think are in this title
race? It's a 4-horse race this season. We've got City and Arsenal, who we've talking about, and now we're moving on to probably the game that grabbed all the headlines. Spurs at home to Liverpool, winning 2-1. Finally, the Liverpool curse is broken. We got a win against Liverpool. I haven't seen that since 2017, albeit some controversy with VAR, and we'll get into that. But the amount of times we've had dodgy calls go against us and we don't say anything, it's fair enough. We got a bit of luck. So, yeah, I can talk about the game, or we can talk about the controversy first. Whatever you want to do.
Look, I'll say this, right? I have nothing against Spurs, and I'm happy for Spurs fans. I'm happy for Tottenham. You went out there, and all you could have done is just play football.
Exactly.
And you did just that. You got 3 points. But, as a Man United fan even, I think every Man United fan thinks this, not just me. I feel bad for Liverpool because, the many calls. Let's start with this one, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that's a red card? Because if you play it in slow-mo, that looks horrendous.
Yeah, the thing is, when you look at it just like that, everyone says, oh, yeah, that's a red card. It's a leg-breaking challenge.
That's what I said at first, too.
And even though it was against my team, the issue I had was when Simon Hooper went over to the VAR, all they showed him was just this image. They didn't show, what actually happened. So I could be a bit biased here, but I think it was a red simply because it's unfortunate, and I would have been okay with it being a yellow. But it's unfortunate because it was basically just physics that took his leg and foot to go over the ball and hit Basuma like that. But I mean, with the state of the game and the laws that are in place nowadays, if you have your studs up like that going into somebody's ankle, calf area that viciously, I can't really complain. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't complain. I would think Basuma would deserve to be sent off. So I'm happy with the result of this controversy.
Okay. Or I'll say this, right? Why can't football just be football? I'm a firm believer in, scrap VAR, because if that play happened in any other circumstances, who's the referee again? Hooper?
Simon Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper. He first pulled out a yellow card for that challenge because that's what he saw. He came to the VAR screen. That's what they showed him. Yeah. And I think if you showed my father that would have been a red card. And, that's where I think VAR shouldn't really intervene too much with the game. But I do know where VAR should intervene with the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't do so. It was this one right here.
Yeah.
Now, there were no lines drawn on this play. And you know what? They didn't draw it for a reason. It was like, what happened in the VAR room? VAR said that the on-field call is confirmed. But the on-field call is actually offside.
Yeah.
So
it was all
their excuse was that it was a miscommunication.
Yeah.
But do you think that's true?
Well, did you hear the audio was released today?
Oh, it was?
Have you heard it?
I haven't.
Basically, so the VAR person and Simon Hooper were not communicating correctly. And a big issue with this is there's about 6 or 7 voices going on at once, I swear. Like, that cannot be a good way of communicating to a pitch filled with thousands of fans and players yelling at refs all the time, because that always happens. Second off, the key issue here was that once the replay assistant in VAR realized that the referee in the on-field call was offside, he said basically that because the play has already started, there's nothing they can do. They admit that it should have been offside, and you can hear them realizing, like, oh my God, we've messed up here. But they said, nothing we can do, nothing we can do. Now, by letter of the law, that's true, but, like, the miscommunication shouldn't have been there in the first place, because everyone knows Romero plays him onside. The fact that they just skipped right over it without really talking about it for more than 5 seconds and moving on is a concern. The line should have been drawn.
That's what I thought. Why weren't the lines drawn? Why weren't the lines shown to the audience?
The one thing I really don't understand with the Premier League is that we saw in the World Cup the automated technology for offsides. None of this drawing line stuff. It was pure technology that can see when it's onside or offside. And the Prem rejected it.
That's when I'm fine with it.
So why something like that isn't in the best league in the world with the most money and the best players and all the fans? Why did they turn it down? I don't know. But yeah, there's not a single person, Spurs fan or not, that can say this was the correct call, because it was obviously onside, and we really got away with one there.
Yeah, after that game, like, I don't know, my head sort of just dropped, because I felt like an example like that just shows that the integrity of the game is absolutely gone.
Yeah,
it's too many bad calls, and there were more bad calls this weekend. It's not limited to just this game, right? But in the end, it was unlucky for Matip to score that own goal.
Yeah.
There's not much he could have done there. He stretched his foot out. It went in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for you that you got your win.
Yeah,
but I think we do have to move on to...
What? Can I just say one more thing, though?
Yeah, go for it.
The one thing I want to say is I saw a lot of people... I think it's unfair for Liverpool and who else are fans of other clubs to, say Spurs paid the ref, whatever, this is Tottenham's fault. It's not. They did nothing wrong. And another thing is that playing against 9 men is actually, it sounds like a numerical advantage, but when the game is tied, it's a really hard thing to do, because Liverpool put their entire defense in the box. They had all their tallest players out there, and it just took patience and sheer, perseverance to just finally get that last minute goal, which I think we deserved. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. That's an example of how to not use VAR, but I can show you an example of how to use VAR. Nottingham Forest and Brentford, Christian Norgaard's opening goal, that's how it should be done.
Yep.
That's
onside.
It. Give us the line. And the worst thing is that I feel like Luis Diaz who scored that disallowed goal?
Diaz scored.
He was more onside than that.
Wait, so who scored here?
Christian Norgaard.
27?
No. Him. Right there. Not him, but him. Right
yeah,
there.
that's
Christian
tight.
Norgaard.
That's tight,
it's
but
tight,
that's how
right?
it should be. That's how it should be.
So...
But VAR messed up in this game as well.
Oh, they did. Talk to him about it.
Yeah, so essentially, Johan Visa's running in on Matt Turner in the box, around this area. And as Turner's about to kick it, Visa gets the ball first without touching Turner, and Turner takes out Visa, and it was a free kick for Nottingham Forest. With VAR going to look at it, when I think anyone who just knows sports in general could see that's a clear foul by Turner. Why is it not a penalty for Brentford? So just a huge weekend of mishaps with VAR.
Yeah, but I think referees aside, Brentford's finally, I feel like, running out of steam without Ivan Toney.
Yep.
They are dropping points left, right and centre now. Forrest is their current... What's the word for that? Current attacker? Nah. Nottingham Forest is their current perpetrator. They've dropped points to Nottingham Forest. And who do they play next week? Brentford.
United.
Oh, yeah.
They play Man United. So they're going to get back on track and pick up 3 points.
I dread that game. I'm at that stage where I dread every single game, but I will always watch it. So we'll see how that goes. Brentford, I'm happy they dropped points this week. At least it drops their morale a bit, heads dip a little bit. So then they'll play Man United, where we'll hopefully win at home, Old Trafford.
Funny.
But do you have anything else to say about that game, mate?
No, you kind of hit the nail on the head there with Ivan Toney. They're really missing him. The thing is, though, they're probably going to sell him in January. I'd imagine Chelsea or Arsenal are going to be all after wanting to sign them, especially because I think they're rating him at about 60 million. And if you want Osman, you're going to have to pay at least 120. So I can see him leaving in January, which I don't think Brentford will get relegated, but I think they'll be a lot worse than what people thought they would be this season, considering, they're not even picking up results like wins against Everton or Nottingham Forest. So, yeah.
Scenes.
Absolute scenes.
But anyways, Chelsea though. Now that scenes, if you... Oh
he
my
finally
God.
scored.
That scenes, if you ask me what scenes look like, Mikhailo Mudryk, finally, and it's a decent goal too.
It was a good.
He made a nice run, and it was a fantastic finish. I can't take it away from him. It was a good knee slide too.
Yeah, solid.
Are you happy for him, or you're actually concerned that they might be back to their best?
No, I'm concerned that Fulham let him score because Mudryk's so bad, man. He's got pace, and that's it. Like, I don't understand how they spent 80 million on him, 70 million, something like that. Sure, this goal will do him a lot of confidence, and he averages like 2.3 posts on Instagram or Twitter every day talking about how hard he's working and whatnot. So, fair enough to him. He got his goal and it was well taken, but yeah, I could really care less about Mudryk because I think he's awful. What about the other goal? Broha? Again, another player I don't rate whatsoever, but it was all luck, wasn't it? I mean, it was luck forced by the pressure. Tim Ream gave it away. Palmer leaves it off, but it was a deflection that came off of the toe of Broha. So good for Chelsea to pick up points, but still not convinced whatsoever.
Yeah. I said this last time when Chelsea beat Luton with that Raheem Sterling hat-trick. I said, they're back, They got their gears back together. They'll be grinding out wins from now on. They didn't do that. And it would be really immature of me to say, they're back on their toes again, because they're not. I think they still have many, many more issues. Still behind Man United on the table by a point.
Yeah.
But, they need a lot of fixing in that club. So does mine. We have a bonus game for you all this week. Luton at home to Burnley, where Burnley actually took an away win, which is kind of against the flow of play. Yeah,
last minute goal at that as well.
Last minute goal with Jacob Larsson.
Yeah, never heard of him, but
at the end there, real happy.
Hugging Connor Roberts. Yeah, I watched the first half. It was probably the worst quality of football I've seen in a long time. I mean, no team held possession, I swear, for more than 15 seconds at a time. It was flying challenges. I mean, it was good fun, but it was, really poor quality. But, both teams had their chances. This was a glorious opportunity for either team to try and pick up 3 points, and it was Vincent Kompany's side who managed to come away with it, which is huge for their fight for survival.
Yeah. So now Burnley's got their first win. So has Luton. The only team left then, Sheffield United. When are they going to...
One more team. Bournemouth haven't won.
Oh, Bournemouth, yeah. But when are they going to get their wins then, the two of them?
Sheffield United?
Sheffield United.
Well, they're not going to win.
That's insane.
They're not going to win one game.
No Prem teams has ever done that before.
They're not going to win one game this season, and Bournemouth will win games. They've got a good coach. It's not looking good at the moment, but it's a whole new system. You got to give it more than 7 weeks. So hopefully by game week 10, Bournemouth are a bit better. But Sheffield, I've got no hope. They won't win a single game this year.
All right, now that the round of fixtures, the round of depression is over, because I'm like this because I literally just watched Man United lose to Galatasaray about a few hours ago. Mm-hmm. Can't stop thinking about it. It's ridiculous. I was in class too. I've done it again. I should have said that to them. They didn't need to know that. But yeah, depressing indeed. But I will move us on to somewhere I am happy. Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah.
Teams are on the screen right about now. How did you do, mate?
Yet again, I finished below average. Let's see. Sun returned for me, which was my transfer, but Moussa Diaby, a few returns and whatnot. But man, Holland, captain blank, Alvarez goal, but like I still can't have a goalkeeper keep a clean sheet for the life of me. And M's just, I mean, he's extremely happy. So he's just expanded his lead, and you'll hear from him and where he is ranked in the world because he can't stop talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
So go on. Get it over with.
All right, lads. M and Changed Name FC is up to 89,000 in the world. So we've cracked top 100k. Dare I say I'm a bit of a professional at the game now.
Okay.
And the lead in the match between M and Ollie has now been expanded to, drum roll, 55 points.
That's nothing.
Oh, okay.
Let's not remember he was up by a couple hundred last year.
That's not how it went. You captain Haaland, I captain Carlton Morris, which worked out a lot better for me. But in hindsight, I should have actually captained Ollie Watkins this week.
Yeah.
23-point haul, and even so, I've made a big mistake of leaving Levi Colwill on the bench. And my first bench slot is actually Estupinian, who came on for Botman. I would rather him not. Blood had a -2. If I had Colwill there instead, it would have done me a wonders of good.
Yeah.
But I don't. Either way, I am happy. I've expanded my lead. I've improved my ranks because I'm now top 100k. But that's what?
It's fine. I'll still win by game week 30.
Okay.
That's fine.
I think that's all we have for you though this game week. A lot of ups and downs. Mainly downs for me. Mainly ups for you. Mainly downs for the match officiating. Mainly ups for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's all we have. We will see you on Friday for our Premier League Game Week 8 preview. We have a lot of juicy games coming up this weekend. I don't know. Should we do games? I mean, should we do videos for the Champions League or that's a quick turnaround, right? Can't do that.
We're in school, lads. We don't know if we can get 3 videos out a week.
But today, though, some results: United lost, Arsenal lost.
Yeah,
those are the shocks. But
Madrid won. Bellingham goal and assist. He's the guy, isn't he? He's him, bro.
He's him.
He's him, bro. He's too
I think
good.
that's all we have for you. We'll see you on Friday for our Premier League Game Week 8 preview. Be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, show everyone this video, push that little bell icon so you'll be notified every time we upload. It's as easy as that. Until Friday then, lads. We'll talk to you then.